Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Power Plant Engineering. In this lecture, we will study tidal power plant. Let's see the introduction. Ocean covers approximately 70% of Earth's surface and represents a huge reservoir of various useful and renewable energy sources. World's total estimated ocean energy reserve are about 130 into 10 raised to 6 megawatts, but only a small fraction can be recovered economically. Present use is negligible, and interest in ocean energy has been revived after the energy crisis of 1973 and likely to gain a significant importance during the coming decades. As the fossil resources is rapidly depleting combined with the adverse environmental impacts, the various ocean energy conversion technologies are presently in infant stage and the cost is prohibitively high, including ocean tidal energy conversion, ocean wave energy conversion, and ocean thermal energy conversion. Let's see the characteristics of tidal energy. All forms of energy available on Earth are derived from the solar energy, with the exception of nuclear, geothermal, and tidal energy. Wind, ocean waves, and rivers are driven by the energy from the sun. Coal, oil, gas, wood, and grasses are formed by solar energy, which splits carbon dioxide with water to produce cellulose, which has either been fossilized or converted to starch, and sugar to produce biomass. The tides are caused by the combined attraction of sun and moon on the water of the revolving globe. The effect of the moon is about 2.6 times more than that of the sun, influencing the tides of the oceans. Tide is a periodic rise and fall over the water level of the ocean twice during the lunar days, that is 24 hours 50 minutes, in which the water in ocean and seas rises and falls. The excess of 50 minutes over the solar day results in the maximum water level occurring at different times on different days. Let's see the characteristics of tidal energy. The amplitude of water level variation at different points on the earth depends on the latitude and the nature of the shore. The rotation of the earth causes two high tides and two low tides to occur daily at place. The revolution of the moon around the earth increases the time interval between two successive high tides from 12 hours to about 12 hours and 25 minutes. As the moon revolution takes around 28 days, the three bodies, that is, Sun, the Moon, and the Earth, are in alignment every 2 weeks at new and full moon. The spring tide is particularly great when the moon is new and full, at which time it is at the closest point of its orbit to the Earth. The revolution of the Earth and the Moon together around the Sun gives the rise to further variation, and due to this effect, the highest spring tide occurs at the equinox in the March and September. A high tide is experienced at a point which is directly under the Moon. At the same time, at a diagrammatically opposite point on the Earth's surface, there also occurs high tide due to dynamic balancing of the ocean water over the globe. In the course of Earth rotation, the water bulges out. Tidal range is the difference in water level between two consecutive high tides and low tides. The rise and fall of water level in the sea during tides can be represented by a sine wave. Point B, a position of high tide, while point D represents a position of low tide. One tidal day is of 24 hours and 50 minutes, and there are two tidal cycles in one tidal day. The normal tide is a semi-diurnal tide with a period of 12 hours and 25 minutes, Diurnal means daily, that is, activities of tide pattern during 24 hours. Diurnal tides indicates two high and two low tides created by moon during one rotation of the earth on its axis. The daily tidal cycle follows a sinusoidal pattern. Let's see the tidal energy converging estimates. Amplitude of the tidal energy range reduces steadily from spring tide to neap tide and then increases with the same pattern to the next spring tide. This monthly cycle occurs due to the one revolution of the moon around the earth. Both the tide cycle, namely the daily and monthly cycles, at a particular location repeat in a most orderly fashion and are predictable. The tides are caused by cosmic phenomena and are not affected by weather, weather conditions and yearly rains. Both the periodicity and predictability of the tidal action are important characteristics which favor strongly the utilization of this phenomena as a source of energy generation. Tides at any location repeat themselves almost identically in a cycle of 19 years. Within any 1 year interval, the differences are small and the available energy is particularly the same from year to year. Precisely for the semi-diurnal tides, there is a relation between the tidal range and the hours of the high tide and low tides. Thus, at a particular location, the tidal range at a given time duration, the day shall always be within limits of the known maximum value. The tide range varies and depends upon the land situation against the sea. On open, exposed headlands, tides are moderate, which may range from 1 to 2 meters. In a gulf, bay, or creek, tides are greatly amplified, in certain cases several times than those occurring at the nearby open coast. The amplification is maximum if the bay is funnel shaped. In the tidal power scheme, a barrage is used to create the waterhead considering the variation of the tidal height in the basin. The barrage is used to impound water during rising tide in one or more basins, which is then released through hydraulic turbines installed in the barrage during the period of tide recedes. Thus, the potential energy of the water is converted into electrical energy. For optimal output of tidal power plant, an creek is the best choice for constructing the barrage. It provides high tidal range besides large storage of water as well. By using a reversible turbine, electrical power can be generated during the rising tide when the basin is filled and again during the falling tide when the basin is emptied. Let's see the how energy is getting converted from tidal energy into electrical energy with the help of barrage and basin. Consider a basin of surface area A meter square at the maximum basin level. Let R be the range of the tide and V the volume of the water stored from low level to high tide level. The volume of the water contained in an elemental strip of thickness dz at surface area of Az at a depth of z above the low tide in the basin dV equals to Az dz. Assume that the basin is empty with its water level z is equals to 0 and the ocean at tide level z is equals to r. By instantaneously filling the basin, the energy potential available is given by EF is equals to rho into G integrating from Z0 to ZR Z AZ dz, which equals to A into rho into G R square by 2, where rho is the seawater density and G is the gravitational force. The above equation provides energy conversion from a single basin type with single effect, that is, either filling the basin or emptying the basin. This duration of time for single effect is 6 hours and 12.5 minutes, which is equal to 22,350 seconds. The average theoretical power generated by the water in watts during a same diurnal tide of 6 hours and 12.5 minutes equals to 0.225 A R square in watts, where A is the area of the basin and R is the range of the tide in meters. The average power is calculated based on average operating head of R by 2 for a limited period in a single basin emptying operation. There are friction losses, conversion efficiencies of the turbine and generator that reduces the output of the turbine. Hence, the optimal annual energy production is only 30% of the average theoretical power calculated above. Let's see the tidal energy conversion in double cycle system. In a double cycle system, as shown in the figure, the energy available in tide sea water is converted into electrical energy during flood tide, which is a rising tide, when basin is filled, and also during the ebb tide, which is a falling tide when the basin is emptied. The flow of water through the turbine during the rising and falling tides is a opposite direction. For this reason, a reversible water turbine is used, which act as a turbine for either direction of flow. During rising tides, a large quantity of water flows into the basin through the turbine by opening the sluice gate. Filling of basin continues along with the generation of electrical power until the tide water level of sea and the basin becomes equal. At this position, the sluice gate is closed. Subsequently, during falling the tide, water from the basin flows into the sea through the turbine and electrical power is generated. As the water level in the basin drops, a point is reached when the difference in water level between sea and the basin becomes too small to generate electrical power. At this point of time, the generating units are shut down. The average power generated during one filling of basin P equals to 0.225 A into R square. During the emptying process of the basin, the same amount of power is generated. Therefore, the energy potential available during the filling and emptying operation is given by EF, energy generated during the filling operation, plus EE, energy generated during the emptying operation, equals to A into rho into G into R square. The theoretical average power generated in a double effect single basin system is given by 0.450 A into R square in watts. The double effect tidal plant generates double energy per tidal cycle, so it is 100% more efficient than the single effect plant. Let's see how much energy is being generated by a tidal power plant on the yearly basis. To harness tidal energy from a maximum efficiency, a double cycle system is most suitable. In real sense, the tidal energy is the potential energy of seawater. For filling the basin, seawater gains potential energy due to the lunar gravitational pull, while for the emptying process, the basin water flows out due to the gravity action of the earth. The energy available from a tide plant or tidal plant depends on two factors, namely the tidal range and the volume of the water accumulated in the basin. Tidal energy is slowly increasing hydro energy during filling of the basin, and after a period of nearly 3 hours, it attained its peak value. When the tide recedes, water is allowed to flow from the basin to sea. It is then slowly decreasing hydro energy and attain its lowest value when the turbine stops after a period of 3 hours. Thus, the energy available from the tidal plant can be calculated in a similar ways as for an hydroelectric power plant. For this, we will assume H equals to tidal range, that is the difference between the maximum and minimum water level in the basin in meters, A, mean base area of the basin in meter square, and V is the volume of water that can be contained in the basin, which is equals to A into H. The average quantity of water Q in cubic meter per second that flows in or out from the basin Q is equals to A into H divided by T, where T is the total time in seconds required for filling or emptying the basin. Theoretical work done by Q quantity of water falling through H dash meter is given by W is equals to rho into Q into H dash kg meter. Power generated at any point of time P is equals to rho into Q H dash divided by 75 into eta in terms of HP, where rho is equals to 1025 kg per meter cube for seawater and eta is the system efficiency. There are no average, on an average, 705 tide cycle in a year. Therefore, to calculate yearly power generation from a tidal power project, it needs us to multiply it by 705. Therefore, power generated annually or yearly is given by integration ranging from 0 to t rho q h dash divided by 75 into eta into 736 into 705 dt, which equals to 7.0914 into 10 raised to 6 eta into integration ranging from 0 to t q h dash dt in watts. Let's see the tidal energy power plants. First type of the plant is single basin single effect plant. It is the oldest form of the tidal power development and the basis of many tide mills. It is simply a barrage, that is dam, across a creek whose principal elements are a powerhouse and a sluice. The basin is filled through the sluice by the rising tide. The water level in the basin reaches the highest level of the tide. It provides the waterhead of tide range to the turbine. The sluice gate is closed. The turbine is started only when the water in the sea is at falling tide level. As the tide continues to fall, a hydraulic head is formed at the barrage and at an appropriate time, water is released from the basin through the generating unit installed at the powerhouse. Electric power generation continues until the head is reduced to the minimum turbine operating well level. It normally occurs after the tide has reached its lowest point and has begun to rise again. At this stage, the turbine water passage is closed and all discharge from the basin is stopped. When the rising tide reaches the basin level, the falling sluice is opened. Refilling of the basin starts and the cycle is repeated. The second type is single basin double effect plant. It is the arrangement makes use of the combination of ebb tide and the flood tide working, and the power is generated by during emptying and falling of the basin. With a single barrage, the waterhead which produces the energy operates from the sea towards the basin during the flood tide and from the basin towards the sea during the ebb tide. The most practical method is double tide operation is by the use of reversible turbine which can operate in both directions of the flow. In double effect operation, the output is variable and intermittent, but to a lesser extent than that in case of the unidirectional flow power plant. It has advantages over the one-way plant, which are the overall output from the equal turbine capacity is greater by 15% and may increase if each plant is designed to the most economic type specifications. And second is the period of operation is increased. The reversible turbine and other allied equipment cost a little more. This additional cost is offset by the above two advantages. Due to its range, period of operation, the operating region of power generation can be manipulated so as to offer power to any predetermined period, either to suit the demand or to suit the tides. Lawrence power plant of 240 megawatt in France is working on this type of operation. Let's see the double basin with linked basin operations. A large basin is converted into two basins of suitable dimensions. One which is at higher level is called high basin and the other at low level is called low basin. The scheme consists of three barrages, one separating the high basin from the sea and containing the filling gates. Another is separating the low basin from the sea and containing the emptying gates. The third barrage separates high basin from the low basin and contains powerhouse. The upper basin filling gates are opened only during the time when the sea level is higher than the upper basin. The emptying gates of the lower basin and open only when the sea level is lower than the lower basin. Double basin with paired basin operations. Two separate single basin single effect schemes located at a distance from each other, selected such that there is a difference in tidal phase between them and never exchange water but are interconnected electrically. Both the basin operates in single basin single effect mode. One basin generates electrical energy during the filling process while other during the emptying process. Its operation leads to a continuous output but the power supply remains irregular. Difficult to find two tidal sites close within each other having a requisite difference in time of high tide or high water. Let's see the components of tidal power plant. There are three major components of tidal power plant: a barrage to form a basin, sluice gate in the barrage for flow of water from sea to the basin and vice versa, and a powerhouse equipped with turbines, each coupled to a generator along with auxiliary equipments. Let's see first a barrage, that is a dam. The barrage should be constructed by the material available at the site or from a nearby place. Barrage for tidal power plant projects have to withstand the force of sea waves, so the design should be suitable to suit conditions and to economic aspects of the development. The rockfill dams or barrages are preferred due to their stability against flows. The barrage crest and slope should be armored from the protection against the wave. Three important components of tidal power plant. Out of that, the second component is sluice. Tidal power plant operates on continuously varying differences in the level at which the basin must be filled from the sea or emptied to the sea, as required by the operating regime of the power plants. This requires suitable sluice ways equipped with the gates which can be operated quickly. These are required to be operated two or more times in a day. There are two types of sluice ways. One is type with a crest gate and second is submerged gates associated with the venturi type. Sluice ways which crest gates are more prone to damage by the wave action and masses carried by flow. Vertical lift gates are the natural choice and can be fabricated from the stainless steel. And third important component is turbines. The energy potential of the tidal power development is exploited from low to very low heads, for which large size turbines are required. If the water head is more than 8 meters, the propeller type turbine is quite suitable because the angle of blades can be changed to obtain maximum efficiencies while the water is falling. The main aim in the design is to achieve as long a period of operation as possible. For low head, three types of turbines can be used. The selection is made according to the suitability. One can select a turbine from bulb turbine, tube turbine, straight flow, rim type turbine according to the water head of the sea. Let's see the merits or advantages of tidal power plant. Tidal power is predictable. It is available tidal power in the farm as there are no wet or dry years, no dry or wet months, no influence of summer or winter on the availability of the tidal energy. It is free from the pollution. Tidal power is inexhaustible and a renewable source of energy. Tidal power plants do not require valuable land located on a seashores. Tidal power, when used in the combination with the thermal plant, can meet effectively the peak demand or load demand. After the capital cost of the tidal power scheme is paid off, the cost of the power generated is very low. And lastly, we will look at the demerits or disadvantages of tidal power plant. The tidal power plant output varies with the variation in the tidal range. Tidal power supply is intermittent, so there is no continuous generation from the tidal power plant. Capital cost of the tidal power plant is not economical when compared with the conventional source of energy, and slitting the basins is a problem with the tidal power.